Today I've got a treat for you, or at least it's a treat for me. I'm up here in the Sierras in the Mineral King area of Sequoia National Park, and we are on the Sawtooth Peak Trail right now, which is very steep. But we're not heading to Sawtooth Peak today. We are actually heading to a peak called Mineral Peak. I've tried to do this peak before in the past, and for whatever, whatever reasons, I've never made it to the top. So, and I was realizing last night as I was driving up here that the last time I was here was almost exactly 10 years ago when me and my brother came up here to climb Mineral Peak. And I know it's 10 years ago because my anniversary is just in a couple weeks here, the 10th anniversary. And I know we came up here a few weeks before I got married. So that's really cool. I didn't even plan it that way, but that's kind of has some symbolism here. So, and the last time when I came up here with my brother, we actually got some snow the night before we were supposed to do the hike. And so that kind of caused some problems to our plans. So, but today, other than it being cold and the trail being steep, I don't see what can stop us from making it to the top today. So this is absolutely incredible area. It is such a beautiful area. I think you're gonna see some really cool stuff. So let's keep trudging up this hill here and I'll show you what we see. So we are at our first fork, and I'm only stopping here to point this out to you because we're actually going to see both Crystal Lakes and Monarch Lakes today, as long as everything goes well. We're actually going to do a loop to Monarch Peak, and the loop will take us to Crystal Lakes first, then we're going to go cross country and head up to the top of the peak, and then we're going to come down the other side of the peak towards Monarch Lakes. And we'll get, I'm sure, a great view of Sawtooth Peak, which is an amazing peak. We're gonna see both of these things. That's the only reason why I'm stopping here. Should be about 8.5 miles round trip, so let's keep going. We are about 3.5 miles in, and I feel pretty good. The climb is pretty relentless. We're now at over 9,000 feet, and there are no flats on this trail. There are no downhills. It's all uphill, and it's so it's kind of brutal. But I'm making better pace than I expected, and kind of realizing that the last time I was up here, I was not in as good a shape as I am now, which is nice. So I'm hoping we're gonna get on up. I mean, we should be at the peak in 1 mile, really. However, it's going to be a really tough mile because we're gonna be going cross country and climbing even steeper terrain. So we'll see how that goes. But I think the views are gonna get really good coming up here. So we're getting into that alpine area. We're gonna get above the tree line here pretty soon. So it should be good. And then we'll be coming back on this trail from Monarch Lakes behind me here. So let's keep heading up this hill now. So. Well, this climb suddenly started to get very difficult. After I hit the fork back there. I don't know, maybe, I guess it's steeper, but maybe it's the altitude, but it's getting really hard. I'm getting those thoughts in my head that, God, it'd be nice to go back down and get a cup of coffee, just relax. But I think we're too close for that now. So we are at the base of Mineral Peak, and we need to climb up the ridgeline here, and well, climb up to the top of the ridgeline, and then follow that rocky ridgeline to the top of the peak. It looks a little steep near the top, but I think there's a way we can get around that without being in too much danger. Crystal Lakes, I see a little tiny lake down there. It's too far away to show you, but Crystal Lake is, I think it's right down this hill. So we'll see that on our climb up the peak, I guess, but it is going to be slow going up this peak. So I guess I better get started. I'm a little worried about the wind too, because the wind is really cold. There's no wind here right now, but at the peak, the wind is like 20 degrees. So let's start doing this now. Yesterday, as I was trying to climb Mineral Peak, I ended up turning around. It was just a really tough climb, and I wasn't up for it. And so I stopped doing the video. And on my way home, I started thinking, that's pretty dishonest to, you know, both of my viewers on this YouTube channel. So I kind of felt bad about that. So, you know, that happens sometimes. Sometimes you just have a run where it doesn't go well, or a hike, or you turn around because you just can't get your mind around continuing up that steep hill at 11,000 feet. So, and that's part of running too. That's part of running is trying to overcome those mental blocks, or those urges to just go back home and take the easy route. So so I wanted to fill you in on that and let you know about that. It was still an 8.5 mile run or hike. I ran a lot of the way back, and it was still beautiful. It was still tough. It was a great training activity. So, but today, this is the next morning. It's about 9:30 in the morning. I'm in the giant forest in Sequoia National Park, and there's a lot of smoke in the air, and I think the smoke is from the devastating fires up in Napa, California. At least that's what I've heard, is that smoke has been blowing down into the valley here. So it makes it really beautiful, but it is definitely thicker smoke. I can smell it very heavily. But the giant forest is amazing. There are massive sequoia trees here. We're gonna do a 4 or 5 mile run right now, and I'm gonna try to show you some of this cool stuff. Last time I was here and I did a short 5 mile run in the giant forest, I ran into 2 bears along the way. So, I don't know. I'm hoping that you're gonna see a bear too. So, the temperature is great also. There's nobody around. This is going to be awesome, so let's check it out. We are going to run through the giant forest. However, we're also going to check out Morro Rock, which is a really amazing little peak, short climb to the top with incredible views. It's a big dome that hangs over the edge of the side of the Sierras. So we're going to check that out here in a few minutes. So. So we're at the top of Morro Rock, and I've been up here like a dozen times or more, and it's still incredibly amazing and awe-inspiring every single time. I don't get sick of it. These sheer cliffs here and the views. Admittedly, the views are not quite as good today because of all the smoke, but it's still incredible. We're gonna head down and continue on our run through the giant forest. So. I don't know if you could tell the scale of these trees in these shots, but these trees are incredibly large. They're somewhere near 200 feet tall. Bases of, circumferences of like 50 feet or more. So I don't know, it's just incredible. So, I'm gonna keep going. Giant sequoia trees live for thousands of years, and but they do fall. They have a really shallow root structure for how large they are. So this one here, I don't think this was fallen last time I was here. Maybe all the rain we got this year caused it to fall, but it would be incredible to see one of these things fall because they are so huge. I kind of thought the best place to see bears might be Bear Hill, but the bears aren't here. Well, the run is done, and unfortunately we did not see any bears, but we did see some incredible fall colors, some massive giant sequoia trees. So it was a success, I think. And between yesterday and today, it got about 14 miles in. So that's a pretty successful amount of running in the Sierras and the Sequoia. So heading home, who knows? Maybe we'll see a bear on the way home from the road. So if so, I'll make sure to show that to you. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this Sequoia trip.